Excellency, fellow panelists, colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me start by expressing my appreciation to the Journalists and Writers Foundation for inviting me to speak at this annual Sustainable Development Goals Conference on the role of education in achieving the Pact of the Future. My reflection will be on what does the Pact aim to achieve? How did we get there from the SDGs dispensation? And what role for education? We cannot speak about Pact of the Future in isolation from Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development and the 17 distinct but interlocking development goals. Goal 4, spearheaded by UNESCO, aims to ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education, promote long life learning for all by the year 2030. Its 10 targets cover from the primary and secondary education to increasing the supply of qualified teachers in developing countries. Despite some progress, the agenda is currently behind on its commitments, while implementation experience brought the realization that education remains a major factor in achieving the other goals. Furthermore, the SDG 4 objectives, like others, have been met with more unexpected negative experience, especially the COVID-19 pandemic, global conflicts, financial crisis, and inflation with devastating impacts on education, particularly learning process. The mid-term reality informed the United Nations Secretary General step to put the SDG back on track, starting from the realization of the release of our common agenda, the Transforming Education Summit, Impact and the Pact of the Future is the latest in the series setting the tone for the agenda beyond 2030. Although education is not a standalone action in the pact, all the 58 points demonstrate its importance to achievement. Education has and will continue to play a significant role in overall sustainable development. Therefore, to address the role of education in the pact of the future, I will dwell on 4 points. 1. How educational policy can be better designed to ensure gender equality and empower women and girls as follow-up to the commitments. Action 8, in particular, aims for gender equality, the empowerment of all women and girls across all sustainable development goals and targets. This is in line with SDG 5, whose objective is to streamline the educational system for gender-focused programs that benefits students and learners from all ages and grades. Let me draw attention to UNESCO's Transforming Mentalities program, which promotes lifelong learning in civic, gender education, with men taking the lead as advocates. Under this scheme, member states are encouraged to develop programs for life skills and social transformation. Others are accelerating girls' enrollment, lifelong gender learning, and incentive for women to take interest in STEM education and profession, as well as leadership roles. Implementing the Pact of the Future should emphasize the fourth mention. If women still account for almost half-third of the adults unable to read, and girls cannot fully enjoy their rights to participate in, compete, and benefit from education, promoting gender equality should start by upgrading and updating national curriculum for girls and women empowerment and gender-sensitive education at all levels. Secondly, what strategy can be employed in education system to align with the SDGs as outlined in the pact? The 58 actions embodied the SDGs. They address further threats to achievements, such as protecting education during emergencies, economic empowerment and social cohesion in uncertainties, and adapting to new emerging technologies. UNESCO Program on Education for Sustainable Development provides a clue to a system that aligns. Its components are environmental education, development education, global citizenship education. The recently adopted Recommendation on Education for Peace and Human Rights added gender equality and education in the digital area to the list. They prescribe education systems that effectively improve resilience to climate-driven crises, dealing with their precautions while not causing further damage to the planet. Global citizenship education is essential to prepare learners who value human dignity, cooperation, and dialogue. To have a new understanding of peace as not just the absence of violence and conflicts, but also a positive and dynamic process that nurtures the ability to value coexistence and take care of the planet. These are pointers to the right strategy. Thirdly, on the primary challenges in implementing educational policies that support the SDGs and commitment in the path of the future, how to overcome them. From records, their functional curriculum as regards SDGs related life skills is a challenge. Next is the issue of teacher in short supply, lacking professional development opportunities, low status and working condition and capacity to develop leadership, autonomy, and innovation. Another is education in conflict and emergencies, where instabilities obstruct learning, including those resulting from wars, climate change. Policies to support sustainable development must improve the station of teachers' responsiveness to emergencies with innovative and community-based approaches and lifelong cognitive learning. Fourth, what future-oriented strategy should be prioritized in educational system to ensure they contribute effectively to the long-term sustainable development goals? We must focus on teaching sustainability from the youngest age, nurturing environmentally conscious learners and a new set of global citizens that have not only academic success, but are trained to take personal responsibilities. Lastly, since all education initiatives will be void in the face of limited access, deploying new and emerging digital technologies to improve access to holistic education should be a priority. This will include cooperation to break the barriers of digital divide and to build the capacity of disadvantaged regions for connectivity and digital equipment for equity. I would like to close this by thanking the moderator of this conference, Jacelina Rana, and the organizers for having me. And also, I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.